Hey everybody, Chevy Nobody Else's Auto. We're coming at you live from B&B Auction in Great Bend, Kansas. Auction's still going on. We got a ring going on outside. We got a ring going on inside. But we just bought some super cool stuff and I am super excited about it. Can't wait to show it to you. Anyway, here in Great Bend, which is where we're based out of, obviously there's been tons of consolidations over the last several years in dealerships. You know, a lot of times the dealerships only had one brand. Those consolidated to multiple brands like with GM and things like that. And that's what's happened around this area throughout the years. We had a Pontiac dealer, we had a Chevy dealer, and then Buick Olds Cadillac was another dealer. And then of course we had two different Mopar stores, a Dodge store, a Chrysler Plymouth store, and a Ford store. Well, over the last several decades, we all know that's consolidated. Well, the Pontiac and the Chevy stores, they were standalone. Back in the 70s and 80s, there was Cotwitz Pontiac and Ryder Chevrolet. Well, sometime in the 80s, I think in the 70s actually, Cotwitz went to Elliott Pontiac, and then eventually they bought Ryder Chevrolet sometime in the 90s, I believe. So then we had Elliott Pontiac Chevy, and we had Dove Buick Olds Cadillac. You think it's almost 20 years ago now. In the 07, 08 window, Doves bought Chevy Pontiac and rolled them in with, at that point now, Buick and Cadillac because Oldsmobile's gone. When they did that around 2009, 2010, after that consolidation, they had an auction and they sold some stuff off back then. Well, the dealer kept some of that stuff and they just sold it today and we just bought it. So I'm excited about it. So we're going to share that with you. Now I did get some of it at the auction like 15 years ago. And the bow tie we're going to see, I got one of those about 15 years ago. So Dad got the other one. And let's go check this stuff out. I'm super excited to actually get this stuff. Like I said, this is late 90s, early 2000s era stuff. But I am jacked. Now you guys know that some people out there like Trans Ams. Some people like this guy like Trans Ams. So, and I love my WS6s, my 01, 02 WS6. I've got some 94 25th anniversary cars, as well as some 70s and 80s ones too, some second and third gen cars. But my fourth gen cars, I had to have this to go with my fourth gen cars. Check this thing out. The Pontiac Arrowhead, you can tell, you know, it's what, probably 4 feet tall. Like me standing here next to it. I think it's a metal can. It is a plastic lens with a metal can. So, obviously beyond geeked to have this. Up next, right off the front of the building, Chevrolet. These letters, I don't have a tape measure with me because we just bought them. I'm so excited because we just bought them, so I'm sharing them with you. What is it, probably 2 feet? I would say they're probably 24-inch letters, roughly. Once again, metal case, plastic lenses. The trim around some of the edges has some chipping, but all the lenses look good. I'm really surprised that, you know, these haven't been knocked out by hail. They have good color. Really look pretty darn decent. Like I said, this is some real thin edging around these that has kind of peeled back on a lot of them. But the important part, obviously, with the blue lenses, still looks great. A great looking set of letters. They do take up some real estate. That's probably the worst problem, is the amount of real estate that these letters take up. But man, they're cool. And I'm obviously excited to own them. The third piece, or not the third piece, obviously without all the letters, but the third item, the way they sold these, they sold the letters, and then they sold the bow tie, and then they sold the Pontiac Arrowhead. Up last, the bow tie. These are, I don't know, what is this? I think they're about 5 foot long. This is a plastic lens, metal case like these other ones were. This is just a vinyl insert on the white on the blue lens. Now, this particular piece, there were 2 of these on the building. There were 2 arrowheads on the building. At the auction about 15 years ago, I got the other bow tie. That's the one you guys see hanging in my shop when we do the lives in the shop, when we do the Toy Tuesdays, the one that's lit up in the background, is the mate to this bow tie. So just off of other sides of the building is where they came from. So this one is going to Dad's shop. I've got the mate to it. The letters, I don't know what I'm gonna do with them. Because that, if you sit here and look, I don't know what does it take. 15 feet probably to display those things. You know, even if you kind of kept them tight, I bet you're looking at 15 feet of real estate to do something with those. But we can figure that out later because we already own them. So we'll worry about that later. Like I said, it was an auction. You never know what's going to happen. And fortunately, we were able to get all of this stuff bought for our collection. Now, when that happened, there were also two of the square signs from Elliott. There was a bow tie Chevy truck, and then there was the iconic OK used cars. We've also got those in our collection. We'll attach the link here to check out the big, I think those are like 6-foot signs that the dealer had kept, put in storage, and they sold off a few years ago at the F&E Collector Auto Auction. We got those there. So we've got a really, really amazing set of signs from some of these local dealerships, which is always exciting. When you get stuff that is local, you know where it came from. You remember seeing it hanging, and now it's all going to our shop. So really excited about today. Fortunately, the day went our way, and we ended up getting all of it. You know, you never know what the crowd's going to be. They're selling it in 3 different lots with the bow tie, the letters, and the arrowhead. And fortunately, we ended up with all of it. So now we got to get to work. I think we can get probably, we just brought a regular pickup out. I think we can get the bow tie and the arrowhead in, and then we're gonna have to come back and try to carefully stack all these letters. The fact that all these, you know, all the lenses, the plastic lenses have survived. And when we say survive, you say, well, this stuff is modern. Well, this stuff is realistically pushing 30 years old, which is kind of crazy to think that this stuff from, I think, like I said, I think this is mid to late 90s stuff, and it still survived. And actually, believe it or not, I've got a car from this dealership. My 97 Z28 30th anniversary car was actually sold underneath these letters. These letters were on the front of the building. My 97 Z28 30th anniversary car, when it was sold new, was on that showroom floor. So maybe I'll have to put these letters up above that Camaro and see how they look there. But anyway, like I said, we'll figure that out at some point. The important part is they're ready to head home with us, and obviously I'm a little excited about it. So cool pieces. We're gonna get this stuff sorted out, take the bow tie to Dad's, take this other stuff to my shop, and probably should go do something productive today. But auctions are always fun too, so we got to catch that. So anyway, there they are. Super excited about it. Really glad that we got them bought. And like I said, you never know. You're nervous, especially when it's stuff like this that we know. Got a car from the dealership. I've got the other stuff that went with this stuff. So super excited. So hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I'm a little geeked right now, but that's why I wanted to do a video while I was excited. And we're gonna get these loaded up and head to our collection. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned. We got a lot more cool stuff coming up. Hit that subscribe button. And if you like old cars, trucks, memorabilia, be sure to check out the channel Nobody Show. We sure like to have you hanging out here on here with us. So cool stuff. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned. We'll see you soon on the next video.